G'day Dark Realmers, it's horror author and illustrator Michael J. Elliott here with you again today. Are you ready for the end of the world, Dark Realmers? Great, because I am too. Let's get started. Okay, Dark Realmers, now if you're a fan of movies like I was of Ex Machina and, end of the world, apocalypse films that I know aren't technically horror, but they do have horrifying elements in it, and that's why I'm reviewing I Am Mother today. Now, it's brilliantly acted, directed, and the story is absolutely fascinating. It was directed by Grant Spatore, and it's a Netflix original production, and it basically stars Luke Hawker, who is the gentleman who actually plays Mother the robot, Hilary Swank, who is only known as the Woman, and Clara Rugard, who brilliantly plays the daughter. Now, the whole situation is that there's been a mass extinction and humanity's been wiped out, and Mother the robot is in charge of all these embryos that are going to be or fetuses actually, that are going to be placed in a birthing tank. And there's a fascinating opening scene that is really almost, I would say, on par with a Hollywood blockbuster, where we see Mother take one of the fetuses and place it in the birthing chamber, and then there's a montage of this child growing up and bonding with Mother. And it's sort of touching, and it's also frightening too, that this young child knows no other companionship apart from a robot. And the robot's voice is played by Australian actress Rose Byrne, and she does it brilliantly. Her voice acting in this is superb. But before we get into it, Dark Realmers, and I tell you a bit more, no spoilers of course, let's have a look at the trailer.
Why aren't there any more children, Mother?
There used to be.
Then why did you only make one?
Mothers need time to learn. This facility was designed to give humanity a second chance. One that began with you. Daughter. The path will not be easy. The world outside is lifeless. But I made you into the woman that you are, so that we could do this together. Mother? Open the door!
How are you unaffected by the contagion outside?
Who put that in your head?
Did you know there were people out there?
I'm as surprised as you.
There's a droid here.
Mother's not what you think. She's taken care of me my whole life.
You haven't seen what they've done.
Not Mother.
I told you it was dangerous outside. I hope you see that I'm different than her assailants.
That thing feels nothing for you. You don't belong here.
I've discovered something troubling. Our guest has not been entirely truthful with us. Daughter, I know you're frightened, but you have no need to be. Have I ever done you harm?
It's just a matter of time.
This woman doesn't care about any future but her own. She's very dangerous. Dangerous.
I'm never gonna hurt you.
She's a risk we can't take.
We have to go now. Trust me.
Daughter, your whole life I've taught you to see the bigger picture. everything I do is to protect you.
Okay, Dark Realmers, I think you'd have to agree that the crew that designed Mother did a brilliant job, and it's just not in the looks. Rose Byrne does a fantastic job of making the robot relatable and likeable, but at the same time, when events start to change and Hilary Swank as a woman from outside comes in, we start questioning Mother, and her gentle voice somehow becomes a little bit ominous and a little bit creepy. And so kudos to Rose Byrne who manages to do that. And you know, Clara Rugard does brilliantly as daughter, who's faced with this conundrum. Does she trust Mother, the artificial intelligence that has brought her up and always protected her, or does she go and does she change her allegiances to the woman who she knows nothing about, and she's being told something about the outside by this woman? But does she trust her, or does she go with her simply because she's a human being like herself? It brilliantly plays with that psychological dread that we have of being alone, of needing to socialise, of be with our own kind, because we are social animals. We, you know, like higher evolved primates basically. And the twists and turns in this story will have you shifting your allegiances to at first trusting the woman and then going back to trusting Mother. And as you saw in that clip where Hilary Swank attacks Mother, I was basically, you know, like cheering Mother on, you know, like, oh, how could you, you know, this robot's, you know, been protecting. But that's the whole point. Our allegiances change, our emotions change with this movie, Dark Realmers. And it's brilliant because the things that daughter finds out and, you know, sort of tries to piece things together based on her own limited understanding. Now, she has been educated by Mother, obviously, and she has a really good standard of education. And there's parts in this movie where it does show you, you know, like she's being prepared for a future where she's going to, or she thinks she's going to be helping Mother, you know, like raise children. And one of the things that really hits home about how isolated daughter is she's sitting in a classroom, you know, of dozens and dozens of empty table and chairs, and she's the only student, and Mother is teaching her, you know, and she's basically giving her lessons. It is a brilliant movie, Dark Realmers. It is creepy, it is atmospheric, and as I said, it's, you know, it's a Netflix film, but because it was written by indies and, you know, produced by indies, you know, for Netflix, it really does deserve your support because it is a very original, not totally original. We've dealt with End of the World before, of course, and artificial intelligence and robots, but this is done in a way that specifically deals with those issues I've mentioned about, you know, trying to find your place, trying to understand, do you fit in, where do your allegiances lie, all these things that we as ordinary people face, you'll face with this movie. So I highly recommend it to you, Dark Realmers. Now, it's available now on Netflix, and I'm sure that it will be, it's only just been released in June and been on Netflix for a little while, but I'm sure it's going to be available on DVD. And if not, I wonder why, because it's definitely one you'd want to add to your collection, okay? So that's it. That's my review of I Am Mother. Now, before you give yourself over to, you know, being educated by robots or artificial intelligence, or the next time, you click on your smart device, your Google Assist or your Siri, remember, stay in the light, Dark Realmers. Bye for now.